Hey guys, Kia from Kegland, and today we're talking about our new BrewZilla 100 litre. This new model has 6.6 kilowatts worth of power under here, so it's going to be able to crank up that temperature really fast. Now, just because it is 100 litre doesn't mean you necessarily have to brew with 100 litre all the time. Just like the BrewZilla 65 and 35, it's also suitable for small batches, and that's because we've changed a lot of the designs in these new BrewZilla single vessel breweries and the Gen 4s. We've made that false bottom smaller. The malt pipe can get lower and get lower in the boiler, meaning you can do even say 30 litre batches in this 100 litre system. But honestly, if you're doing those small batches, the temperature climbs so quickly, it'll literally put a smile on your face. I've already used this quite a bit doing double batches, so doing 50 litres, and honestly, when I see that temperature go up by about 2 or 3 degrees per minute, it makes me really, really happy and increases speed at my brew days. So if you do have the availability of, that large power supply, then I think it's an awesome choice. So that's single phase, it's going to be drawing about 30 amps, or if you've got it in the 3-phase configuration, that's going to be a 10 amp configuration. So you can easily change the wiring over and switch between the two if you want to. We've got an instruction sheet separately on the website, and it's got a bunch of upgrades which I'm going to take you through right now. But this type of brewery, it's perfect for an avid home brewer who's really keen into home brewing, or alternatively, if you've got a brew pub or you've got a professional brewery and you're just doing some small batches that you just want to put on tap and test them out with the customers, this is the perfect brewery for you. Anyway, let's get straight into it and see what the features are. Now let's have a look at the malt pipe first. As you can see, the malt pipe has the perforations on the bottom, of course, but also just like the other Gen 4s, has the perforations coming about 60 mil up from the base of the malt pipe. We have found that's kind of like an optimal level. We did a lot of testing when we started bringing out the BrewZilla Gen 4s and found that if we put too many perforations, we do see a significant drop off in the efficiency. However, with 60 mil, we get a good measure of increases the flow through, reduces those stuck sparges, but still get very, very good conversion efficiency and not losing a lot of sugars left in the malt pipe. The other thing is the top screen here, just like the other BrewZilla Gen 4s, we've got a hole in the dead center of this one here, a bigger hole in the other small 2 mil perforations, and that's how it takes the Bluetooth RAPT temperature thermometer. So if you're wanting to get 2 temperature probes, obviously there's one built in the base of the brewery itself, but then in the malt pipe, obviously it's really nice to get that second reading. So what you can do is you can push the elements just a little higher at the base. Therefore, when you're recirculating, you're going to be able to do step mashes much easier and much faster if you're using the Bluetooth probe. So highly recommended getting that accessory. The other thing, of course, just like the other models that we've got, the smaller models, we've got the 2-stage lifting. For this size brewery, it does start to become a pretty big lift, I should say, as well. So we have made a little bit of a modification to this handle here. So typically these handles just add a small bump in here, which you could attach to the pulley. And if you did want to use the pulley, the only pulley I'd recommend with this one is our heavy duty strap pulley. So that's the one, I've just got a link in the bottom right hand corner now. You can have a look at that one. Or if you wanted to use this type of handle here, the reason why I've got such a large loop here is so it sits a little bit higher, and that way you can get a bit of timber or steel under here and actually use 2 people to lift. So if you notice, this goes into this handle slot here, and you can see how this actually protrudes higher than the edge of the malt pipe and higher than the edge of the brewery as well. So when you're lifting this guy out, you can easily get a big broomstick for argument's sake under here and get 2 people on either end and lift it out. And that's really kind of necessary because look, I've lifted it a few times by myself and it is a bit of a struggle. Anyway, let's move on to the brewery itself. Now, with most of the breweries, we do recommend people buy the neoprene jacket. The neoprene jacket gives you a little bit of insulation, so you're going to save some power. But really, the benefit of using the jacket, in my opinion, is it gives you more power because instead of having those roughly 500-600 watts worth of heat loss, which just disappears into atmosphere, the jacket is going to stop a lot of that, meaning you've got more heat going into the boiler itself. So you've got faster heat up times, faster mash times, and really, in my perspective, it's a time-saving measure because it speeds up the brew day. So the new jackets are made of super thick neoprene. They've got a handy little chart here so you can see the optimum mash temperatures, but look, most guys doing a 100 litre batch probably know this off by heart. The new jackets with all the Gen 4 stuff now have Also an insulated neoprene flap here, which covers the sparge arm, because we did actually notice with this sparge or recirculation arm that there's still a significant amount of heat was getting lost from this as well, which is why we've also got neoprene now on this arm here. So the jacket and this piece is sold separately, but look, it's not that expensive and highly worth it. Some of the other accessories also include the distillation lid. So this large brewery size is perfect for doing distillation if you're doing your own whiskey runs and stuff like that. We've also got the boil extender. So if you want to extend the volume of the boiler as well, there's an extension that you can whack on the top of this, just like the 65 and 35 too. And the other thing I'm going to show you is the pump upgrade. So let's flip it upside down and have a look at this. So if you flip the 100 litre BrewZilla upside down, you'll see it's very similar to the other models in that you can get to the pump really easily. There's no need to remove any casing or anything like that. So if you want to do maintenance on the pump or change the plumbing configuration, it's a snap. All you do is get in here, you can take off these spring clamps, and I can, for instance, use the pump to pump out the output or go to the tap output via gravity or whatever you want to do. There's also a couple different bolt holes here, so you can move the pump in different configurations fairly easily if you, for instance, change the setup. The other thing is it means you've got easy access to the electronics box here, which obviously connects to this cable. So when you're switching between 3-phase and single phase, it's pretty straightforward. You have to undo this, undo the grommet, and look, just follow the instructions that we've got online in the PDF. One last upgrade I'll also mention as well is the fact that we're using a standard 25 watt pump here, meaning you've got plenty of power to push that wort through like a plate chiller or a counterflow chiller. Obviously our standard 65 and 35 breweries, they have the 6 watt pump, so it's a substantial upgrade, 4 times the amount of power there. And you'll be able to push that wort even up into a tank which is like higher up or a couple meters up in the air or something like that if you needed to for some reason. But the other thing was with that 25 watt pump, we've actually got this other pump head upgrade which recently just got finished. So previously our 25 watt pumps would just come with barbs or threads on the output, but we now have a stainless steel tri-clover head as well. So the pump body is the same, and you can just upgrade the head itself and buy this sort of stainless steel component here. And now if you're the kind of person who really gets fastidiously into their cleaning, you can take the pump head off really easily just with a tri-clover clamp. No Phillips head screwdriver necessary or anything like that. So you just sort of take it off and then you've got this. So it's really a little bit more sanitary, easier to clean out and take apart for cleaning and so forth. So we've actually got another video on this whole pump, so you can watch that later, and we talk about the features with the purge valve here and stuff like that. So you can see that one separately. Now, as with the other BrewZillas as well, we use this whole pump protection screen, giving us a large amount of surface area to prevent ourselves getting blockages. So if you're using heaps and heaps of hops, you're not going to have lots of hop pellets just go straight through and block up the pump. So that's a feature that we have, pretty much on all the other ones like the 65 and 35 as well. Where the 100 litre differs is now we've started to, as standard, include the heat exchanger dish. So I've got a separate video on the heat exchanger dish. I'll put a link in the comments below. You can watch that one, but essentially the heat exchanger dish that we're including as standard with the 100 litre basically enables you to step up much faster and get better heat exchange efficiency between the wort itself and also the element at the base of the brewery. So if you're doing like a Pilsner and stepping up a few times, or doing an acid rest, highly recommend going with this model because it has this as standard. Of course, with the 35 and 65 though, you can buy it as a separate part at the moment, and we might even make that standard in the future. There has been a few requests of that too, so just wanted to mention that comes standard out of the box. Well, that is it, guys. Hope you enjoy using the BrewZilla 100 litre. This is actually the model I use now myself. I've got rid of my old 65 litre, and I absolutely love having that enormous amount of power as soon as I turn the switch on. So look, hopefully you get as much enjoyment out of using this as I have over the past few months. And if you want to see any other accessories, definitely just put it in the comments below and send in your requests. The other thing is subscribe to the video, really helps us. Hit subscribe now, bottom right hand corner, and sign up to our Facebook Homebrew community group, where there's lots of other guys like yourself sharing tips and tricks on how to get the most out of our gear. All right, see you guys, and next time, bye.